Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is going to be a reading for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Scorpio, this is your reading from May 13th through June 25th when we have Venus retrograding in Gemini. Now, before I get into that, I did a little bit of digging and I need to give you a little bit of background information about Venus in Gemini. So Venus is in Gemini from April 3rd. Okay, so it's for a while now until August 7th. And our sweet, loving, caring, tender, intimate Venus has entered the fun and flirty Gemini. So we suddenly have this great clarity in what will make us happy. And it's fun and it's effervescent. And it's just, it's just this like fun, flirty, chatty type love. It's a lighthearted and cerebral approach to love, whereas like other signs, it's more passionate and the intense physical attraction isn't as important as finding lovers who thrill our minds and turn us on that way. Okay, so on May 13th through June 25th, Venus is going to go retrograde in Gemini. And so we might really feel like issues with love and money, because remember, Venus also rules money, may stagnate or even feel like they've dried up completely. We might feel it as though we have insurmountable challenges in our relationships. We might feel a lot of tension. We may experience this tension during this time, but it's really only to help us gain perspective on what it is we really want, what it is we need in the arenas of work and love, money and love. We might also see old lovers resurface for healing and closure, or we just might have old lovers coming back to us, or old jobs or opportunities that we thought had been lost. But it's really up to you to discern and to use your intuition whether or not this is something that hasn't been rekindled to stay, because during retrograde a lot of times it's, we're triggered by certain events or people come back so that we can really heal, cleanse, and get closure from that situation. All right, so Scorpio, let's go ahead and jump into this. I hope you guys are still enjoying that energy from that full moon in Scorpio. I know I am, so let's go ahead and jump into this. We're going to invite spirit, angels, ancestors, loved ones who have passed, and spirit guides to this space to deliver the messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs from May 13th through June 25th. Scorpio, and I can feel that chatty Venus and Gemini, that Gemini energy. Messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Ooh, Scorpio, I just went down a little rabbit hole. Maybe that's me throwing you a line, inviting you back up. Come on out of the depths, Scorpio. Oh, I love it though. My moon is in Scorpio, you guys. So, I like those rabbit holes just as much as you guys do. Okay, let's see what's going on here. There you are. Nice. I'm happy. And I'm not surprised about the energy in this reading. It's so Scorpio. Overall energy, Page of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. This can be a message that you're receiving about love, about health, about new beginnings, about, work. Pages, remember, they're just starting out a new journey. And I love that the Page of Pentacles popped up in the upright, because it looks like some of you experienced some sort of loss. It could be, something, an investment that didn't go as planned. Some of you might have been let go, but you're being made aware of a new opportunity that I think you're actually going to see as a blessing, or you're actually going to be very pleasantly surprised about. The Page of Pentacles is all about planning. I did start to get immediately as I started pulling your cards, that some of my Scorps out there, you guys are overthinking, overanalyzing, which makes sense, right? Scorpio does that. Scorpio, you're about digging deep. You're about mystery. You're about uncovering mystery, right? And we have the Tower card. So anyway, so you may have experienced a huge shakeup in a relationship. It could also have to do more with, finances than love, because remember, Venus isn't all about romance. So take it how it resonates. The King of Pentacles is more earth energy. So again, you guys might have this in your chart. You just might be exhibiting these qualities, or you might be dealing with somebody likewise. You have the Moon energy in reverse, something that gave you a lot of clarity. Again, Seven of Cups, this is confusion. This is, dreaming big, but, maybe needing a little dose of reality. And I feel like you got that clarity, and that's probably with this full moon in Scorpio energy. It's probably around that time or about now, something that's coming clear that was once confusing, something that maybe was too good to be true that you invested in, and it could be a person, it could be a job opportunity. Okay, this King of Pentacles that's really showing its true colors, and it's not, but you guys are adept enough to course correct, start anew, cut your losses, move in a new direction, or maybe even you had a plan B in place. All right, so my dear Scorpios, you guys are showing up as the Three of Pentacles. This is a lack of collaboration. Again, for some of you, you might have found out that this King of Pentacles energy, the clarity might have been that somebody was running around on you, or somebody wasn't putting in or investing in the relationship the way that you were. This could be a romantic relationship. For some of you, it's going to be with work. It could be a relationship with somebody that you worked with. Okay, for a select few of you. The Three of Pentacles is a lack of collaboration. Remember, we don't always need financial investments in, in a project or a creative idea or in a relationship. But what we do need is that energy and that equal amount of passion and energy. And Scorpio's about passion that needs to be there. And it feels like it wasn't. Either you weren't feeling it or somebody else. And this Three of Pentacles is finding out that either it was a third party situation. Remember, third party doesn't always have to be another person. Okay, it could just be that somebody's attention or energy was being diverted to something else other than what you were investing in. But the Three of Pentacles can also be, your desire to not collaborate. In Scorpio, this is normal. When Scorpios, just like any other water sign, and I do see a lot of water here, need that time to pull back, rest, rejuvenate, find that inner balance before they're ready to come back out. And I told you when I was shuffling, I said, this is me throwing that lifeline down into that rabbit hole, Scorpio, because I can see that you've spiraled down into, this dark Scorpio place, which isn't always bad, right? Because, nobody can do that better, and nobody's safer in doing that than my dear Scorpios. Now, what's in your surroundings? There's a little bit of mental conflict. Again, I do get this full moon. I feel like this has to do with this full moon that we just went through in Scorpio. The Two of Swords is trying to decide. There's a bit of confusion. You have two aces here, two perfectly good directions, two people to choose from. Maybe you have to decide between two people. Maybe you've been given an ultimatum, okay, and you're pulling back for a while to figure out what it is you want to do. For others of you, it's just figuring out what you want to do with this person or with this situation. Do you cut them off completely, which is, innate in Scorpionic behavior, or is it something that you want to work on and you want to try again? But I see you really pulling back. This is like a minor arcana hanged man energy, just trying to get a better perspective, not really wanting to hear it, not really wanting to be around people at this time. Leave me alone. I've got my walls up. I'm going down in my hole, there we go. My dog starts barking, kiss off, leave me alone type energy. I need to figure this out. So what you're being blocked by is the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is a blessing. It's unconditional love. It's a new beginning in love. I feel like, though, more than anything, it's the need for my Scorpios out there to refill their cup, okay? Because whatever this Tower moment is or was, whatever that was once really confusing, that you got clarity on around the time of your Scorpio full moon, most likely, whatever it was, this something that you thought was going to go the distance or was going to be stable or was going to be, your version of your knight in shining armor, take gender out of it, whatever that is, you've had to think on your feet. You've had to sort of there was a big shift. There was a big understanding. There was a big, uncovering of a mystery that wasn't quite all that pleasant. So it's really requiring that you get your energy back up and, you take that time for yourself, Scorpio. Now, subconscious influences are the devil. This is Capricorn energy. You might have it in your chart. You might be dealing with somebody. The devil energy is about this intensity and that fire. So remember, Scorpio, you guys are ruled by Pluto and Mars. And, this is about the underworld. This is where Scorpio is comfortable, in those murky, deep, dark depths, okay, of human emotion, of life experience. My Scorpios show no fear when it comes to the shadow. And I feel like this is what's driving you. Now, for some of you, the reason you're experiencing this so deeply and so intensely is because this is a connection that is almost like an addiction, or it's such, but it doesn't have to always be addictions. It can be just the magnitude, the gravity of this relationship and the intensity that you feel towards this situation. Okay. For some of you, you might have to take a look at your excesses. What is it that maybe in this pullback period, have you been drowning your sorrows? Has it been alcohol? Is it drugs? Do you have an addictive behavior that's driving these situations or perpetuating a situation that isn't quite healthy for you? Okay. But you guys will know. Now, in your recent past or in your past, you have the Strength in reverse, which is Leo energy. You could have been dealing with a Leo. There could be a Leo that's coming back to you. Could be a Cancer, Leo cusp type person as well. And remember, it's up to you to decide if old loves resurface for healing and closure. Is it for rekindling, or is it for just that? The Strength card in reverse is telling me that something really did make you feel less than 100%. That, something, maybe it's external circumstances, maybe it's the COVID-19 pandemic, maybe it's also we're having Saturn retrograding. So we're going through a lot of retrogrades right now, and Saturn is retrograding back into Capricorn, which is going to give, we have Pluto in Capricorn, and, Scorpio, it's not where you exactly like to be, that restriction and that those rules. And so it's like this, so it's this karmic return, and Saturn is going back into Capricorn where, it doesn't make you feel so good. So I feel like some of you maybe need to get your confidence back after whatever situation this was, maybe finding out that you weren't the only one, or maybe hearing news that, somebody wasn't as invested as you wanted to. And it's not easy for intensely emotional signs, whatever sign you're to, intensely emotional people, to trust in somebody and have that trust be broken. Okay. And even if that trust was just, your high hopes and the longevity of this situation. Okay. So I'm seeing that there in the Strength card. Now, what's crowning you, what you're thinking about, is this giant shift. Okay, the Tower card is of earthquake magnitude. Now, I'm not predicting earthquakes here. Maybe some of you, though, I was listening to the radio the other day that there was an earthquake in, I think, Iowa, that nobody's really heard about because everybody's so concerned with the COVID-19 pandemic. And there's a lot of other things that are going on, as we're so focused on the COVID-19, there are people who are trying to get cancer treatments and that sort of thing. I have no idea why I'm telling you this, Scorpio. Maybe some of you guys are dealing with that. Maybe you've gotten some really, some upsetting news, okay, some life-changing news, but it's not really, being highlighted because everybody's so worried about, themselves at this time during this, sheltering in place period. But the Tower is all about, Scorpio, maybe you bringing about a major shift in, a major paradigm shift. And maybe also something has happened that has made you shift out of focusing so much on the everyday and on the 3D and more into the spiritual. And also maybe that's what's triggered you to go down this, scorpionic rabbit hole is what I'm going to call it, and get down deep and dark and dirty into those murky waters where you're actually quite comfortable. All right, but I see a beautiful outcome for you, your energy or somebody else. Again, you might have a Cancer, Leo cusper coming back into your life. I don't, in some of my other readings, I've really felt like it was negative, like that, like, they did you dirty or they did you wrong. I'm not getting that from this past person. So it's really up to you to decide if, sometimes people from our past come back to us and we've evolved and changed so much that what was once a beautiful relationship has to stay, a beautiful memory, and it no longer serves us in our present condition or, who we are. So it's taking all of that into account. But Scorpio, this is emotional balance. This is getting your psychic activity, back to its, full swing. The Queen of Cups is this beautiful energy of nurturing, self-care, taking care of others, taking care of your soul tribe, taking care of your pets, taking care of your, your lover, your lovers, or your, your spouses, or whatever it might be. The Queen of Cups takes care of everybody, but there is that one thing that she keeps for herself, and that's usually her spiritual practice, her spirituality. So a lot of you might like have, tarot cards, or you might read runes, or you might do certain rituals, or you might sort of keep your spirituality guarded and to yourself, okay, which would be, which is something I can identify with. And I'm seeing that here in the Queen of Cups, that, she's on the outside, this loving, giving, amazing, nurturing person, taking care of everyone and everything in her life. And then she does keep certain things secret to herself because they are sacred to her. And Scorpio, that's your energy. And that is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some energy oracles for my dearest Scorpios, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Cross watchers are also welcome. This is the energy oracle for May 13th through June 25th. So let's dig a little bit deeper, my dearest Scorpios. All tied up. Yeah. 23 breaks down to a 5. Conflict, fluctuation, change. This is you being anchored in, and again, remember at the beginning of the reading, I said to you guys, I'm picking up on over-analysis, and I'm getting, this is that over-analysis paralysis, and this is me. I want you to see it and feel it, me throwing you a line, saying, you know what, dear Scorpio, it's okay to come out now. I'm here to help you. Here's a little rope to climb up. You've been down there quite a while. Just checking on you. Indecision. Look at that, coming out on top of the Two of Swords. So you are really indecisive. And maybe you feel like you can't confront this person or this situation until your cup is refilled, till your confidence is back, until you're really, really clear, right? Because if I know water signs most of the time aren't going to burst out and just say whatever they're feeling. They're going to really, really get clear on what it is what it is they need and what it is they want to say at this time. Scorpios also are the type of people, they're like the fly on the wall. So, you're mysterious and secretive, but when you enter a room or if you enter a party, you're not the person that's like, hey, I'm here. You're the type of person that is going to maybe go over to the corner, analyze, see everybody in the room, check them out, suss everybody out before you actually dive in or get your, and don't jump into that party, okay, or interact for that matter. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything really all that, for another sign, to be honest, Scorpio, if I got these cards, I would feel this, this upset and this, shit moment, right? But I don't feel that for you guys. I feel like this is your energy. I'm not worried about you. I think you do the worrying. and not to say that I'm totally not concerned at all. I'm just saying I think you're working through it and you're just fine. Ooh, envy. Some of you may have been dealing with jealousy. It might be something that you're trying to heal and clear. Again, with Venus in retrograde coming back up through Gemini. Remember, Gemini's chatty, Gemini's flirty. So you might be really triggered by a partner or a past partner that made you feel jealous. That was giving you, wasn't giving you their undivided attention. And one thing I know about water signs, but Scorpios in particular, they do not like that attention to be shared, right? And it's not a negative thing. It's just because you're intense and you're passionate and you don't share it when you have made that decision, you're not sharing it. And so if somebody else is sort of casually sharing their love and affection, and I do see that, I did see that 3 of Pentacles coming up in reverse. Some of you might have had, somebody who had a lot of different options there. What we're seeing with that 7 of Cups, okay, they might have been playing the field and they might have hurt your feelings. Yeah. And you might be working through that. You might have felt like, I promised I wasn't going to do this. Promised I wasn't going to get involved with somebody like this. I promised this person I wouldn't feel jealous, but I do. And quite frankly, they make me feel that way. So there's a lot of stuff to sort of work through in this relationship. And then also, doing the shadow work, which I see you doing. And the devil energy and the envy and the all tied up, it could be that you're experiencing these really intense and even obsessive thoughts or emotions. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be your energy. Remember, it could be the energy of the person you're dealing with. Okay, and some of you might be cross watchers out there. But you guys get 44, woman holding a heart. This is something you're very, very emotional about. Bottom of the deck, 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. Opening up that crown chakra, communing with source, prayer, meditation, whatever it is that's going to help you find balance. I see you finding balance with this Queen of Cups, whether this is a person who's coming into your life or whether it's you, Scorpio, and really sort of taking this time to work through this big shift. Okay, and we have lots of energy shifts, but you're somebody who wears your heart on your sleeve. I feel like you gave this person or this situation your heart, you gave them your everything, and you might feel, okay, like they didn't act the way they should have, or, they hurt your feelings, to put it bluntly. And that's not easy for a Scorpio. That's not easy for any water signs. I have to say, we can be quite unforgiving. And oftentimes it's not the only time. Oftentimes we're forgiving a few times and then it's like no more. And Scorpios, I don't know if any of you have ever been stung by a scorpion. I have twice. All right. And both times they were in my kitchen sink, because I live in the US and I also live down in South America in Colombia. And I had dishes and there were these little white ones hanging out on a sponge. And forgive me if you've heard this story before, but I went in actually twice in the sink and once on top of a bookshelf. And man, these little white suckers, they sting. And I couldn't see my knuckles. It swelled all the way up. They stung me on my fingers, swelled all the way up, way past my wrist. And for like 8 days, and just this itch. And I just had this like big, chunky, swollen, dead hand for 8 days. It was horrible. All right. And they're little, but Scorpios, because they felt threatened. Okay. And they shoot to kill. Not literally, of course. Okay. Let go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. Yeah, you might have been in a controlling relationship. You might have been trying to control this other person, okay? Or maybe you just need to walk away. If this situation is a constant struggle or making you feel this envy, this jealousy, making you feel all tied up in knots, this person's walking away. Wow, and you guys get the leaf blower. All right, well, good thing we're near the end of this reading. Scorpio. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Bottom of the deck, make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Make the effort. Yeah, so for some of you, this is about releasing a relationship. Maybe you have already, and you're working through that, and you're working through the shadow aspects and finding that balance and this emotional equilibrium. You guys are attracting your soulmate. For some of you, this is a soulmate who's coming back to you. Leo, Cancer, cusp, or maybe they just exhibit those qualities. All right, Scorpio. So I kind of like where this is going. It's like this deep, dark intensity that's kind of unfolding into something that's going to be pretty awesome. And you get wild. Of course you do. Of course you do, Scorpio. Okay, so I'm reading the Healing Yourself reading cards by Ina Segal. And I'm so worried that that leaf blower or whatever is going to pop back on and ruin this really awesome reading, although I don't think it can. Through suppressing your wild, succulent, outrageous, and untamed self, you dull your senses and crush your creativity. You shrink, lose your energy, and become depressed. Your relationships suffer and your rage grows. You become ashamed, hostile, cold, boring, over-serious, and scared. Yeah, and we're seeing all that energy here in this reading, aren't we? You stop taking chances and live in mediocrity, constantly trying to protect yourself. The truth is that no one can judge you, punish you, or hurt you as much as you can. Yes, and I'm picking up on that, Scorpio. Give in to your wildness and stop living a sham. This part of you is sensual, provocative, truthful, courageous, bold, passionate, and alive. Set it free. Unleash it, Scorpio. Oh, God, help us. I'm only kidding. All right, 2 additional messages for Scorpio. There's one. Final messages for Scorpio from May 13th through June 25th. Again, I apologize. I feel like, there have been a lot of little mini distractions in this reading. And, but you guys, you're not even noticing it because you guys are very deep in your own selves, in thought. First one is time. You are trying too hard. Give it time. I love it. And then you get close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful. You can allow joy into your life regardless of the circumstances you currently find yourself in. Beautiful messages for my dearest Scorpios. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, comment, share, ring that notification bell. But most of all, I want to thank you for all the love and support you show this channel, and I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Take care.